What up, everybody? It's Dan Greer with Forge coming at you today for your 5-minute pep talk. Today, we're going to be chatting all about the day that I walked out of my corporate job. 6 years ago, October 19th, I pushed back from my corporate desk. I walked out the door. I didn't have a backup plan. I didn't have a parachute. I had a family. I had a mortgage. I had a vehicle payment. I didn't have a parachute, right? I just had grit. I had faith and a stubborn belief that I was meant for more than playing it safe in the corporate world. Now, I'm not saying I didn't do my research beforehand, but I'm going to tell you that I left a very cushy job that made very good money for one customer that paid $2,000 a year. And I had the faith that it would grow from there. This was probably one of the scariest steps I've ever taken, ever. Because guess what? I had kids that were still growing up. This was 6 years ago today, right? If I rewind 6 years ago, my oldest, who's 19 right now, would have been 14, right? He was just getting ready to drive. My youngest, who's 13, would have been in like second grade, right? It was a super scary step. And we're a single income family, okay? So it's not like we could just say, oh, we'll just depend on my wife's income while I try to get this up and going. We had about 2 months of bills, of savings to pay everything off, to pay the mortgage off. That's about what we had, right? We didn't have any more than that. That's where we were at. And we made that leap. Now, my point today is that there are things in leadership that are very scary. There are things in leadership that are going to terrify the crap out of you. You have to go from your comfort zone to uncomfortable. And if you look right here, this was a lot of fun. I don't know if you read it, but it's a switch. And it says comfort zone and hard things. That's actually an image from my book, Grit, Grease, and Grace, written by me, Dan Greer. And I made the images too. How freaking cool is that, right? And I designed the cover. When you put your mind to stuff, you can do whatever. My point is, you have to get out of the comfort zone. Good leaders don't sit in their comfort zone. And that's what makes you who you are today, is because you're getting out of your comfort zone. You're growing. You're moving to that next level. You're getting where you need to be. And the way you do that is you do hard things. And you do hard things all the time. It's not once. It's every day, day after day after day. That's what sets you up for success. That's what makes you different. That's what forges you, is doing those hard things. Because here's the deal. If you're not doing hard things, you're not growing. Period. Point blank, end of story. If you don't have a whiteboard full of things that you need to be doing and ways you need to grow and things you need to make happen, there's a problem, right? Because you're not doing hard things. I need you to do hard things every single day, no matter what those hard things are, right? In my book, I talk about one of the hardest things I ever did was asking my wife to marry me. And I remember like it was yesterday. Like I literally was down at the pond in my grandparents' place. They've got like this beautiful 5-acre pond, and we were down there, and these ducks like went swimming out across the pond. And then these little ducklings followed them. And I can't remember how many there was. There was like 4 or 5 ducklings, right? It was like, oh, this is the perfect moment. So I get down on my knee, and I like get down on one knee while she's looking at the ducks. And like, what do? I drop the friggin' ring in the dirt, right? And I'm like frantically searching for this ring. And she's like, what is he doing playing in the dirt? Like, is he drawing a picture? Like, what's going on? She had no clue what was going on. And then finally I find the ring, and I fumbled through this proposal, and she's like, yes. Right? After all of that, she still said yes. 20 plus years later, right? 4 kids. One is just getting ready to graduate Army diver training, which is crazy cool. 280 recruits went in. 5 passed, right? I've got another son who's into voice acting, and he's not even out of high school, and he's got jobs lined up, and he's doing them while he's in school over a summer break. Right? He's taking action. He's doing the hard things. He's not waiting. Are you doing the hard things? Because here's what's going to happen. The more you do the hard things, the easier they get. All right, guys, get out there, do some hard things, get forged. We'll see you guys soon.